You have to understand, either you are with us or you are against us.
So black man would have never did that. Yeah, man, Barack Obama for wearing a brown suit.
Okay, so it is what it is. I'm not alone until I got the whole familia with me tonight. Monday night, long time no see. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. It's your man, 50 Grand, Kevin Barnes. Filling to the microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. What's happening, foundational Black America? 414 stand up. I'm not alone. I got my partner with me, Mr. Kater. What's going on with you, brother?
Peace, man. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations, elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you. I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the coach, the teacher, the hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. I'm your holistic health and wellness coach, Mr. Kamar Carter. I'm also the one who brings you Nature's Natural Herbs and Supplements. You can find that on Facebook, Nature's Natural Herbs and Supplements. Look, go to my health page, healthyselfheal.self. If you ask somebody about it, they're going to tell you how to find me. You could go to my page, Kamar Carter, and inbox me, and I'm going to tell you how to get it. You dig? Now, look, call me. Let's put a package together. Let's get it, y'all.
The number for him is 414-949-2122. Just in case you're saying, the nigga said calling me, he didn't give me no number. It's 414-949-2122. Hit up my boy. We celebrate black business, man. We all got to practice intentional solidarity. Rail, what it do, man? Welcome to the show, Mr. Hefner.
What's happening? What's happening with everybody?
Man, holding on like a hubcap in the fast lane, trying to maintain, right? Man, you know, sometimes you the windshield, sometimes you smash, sometimes you.
What happened, Kev?
Hey, it's a machine. Sometimes the mic goes out and they tell me your mic ain't hooked up. Stop talking, nigga. But I think it's pretty clear right now. Check this out. We're on Mondays, Wednesdays. I'm trying to bring back the Big Black Sports Show, which I was supposed to have in effect ready for tomorrow night. And I don't know. I don't think I prepared right. So I think I'll just push it back until next week. We'll start the Big Black Sports Show. Other than that, you'll catch us Wednesday night again for the Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio. Talk a little shit, swallow a little spit, whatever, what have you. Shout out to, I got my chat room popping. And if you want to call, the number scrolling across the bottom of the screen, but the number for people who can't see it is 262-202-5131. Once again, it's 262-202-5131. It's a cash app there too. Show your family some love. Sean Moore, what it do? What's happening, homie? Big homie, neighborhood. What's up? Capitol Drive in Atkinson, stand up. Deion James.
Hit that cash app so we could bust Fox 6 upside their head.
Yeah, man. Right? Tell me y'all seen the story about the old white dude choking dude. I didn't see shit wrong with it. Neighbors protecting neighbor shit. Gonna leave this right here. Well, you can leave it right there, but I'm gonna pick it up because it's showing my talking points. So you know I'm gonna touch that. And that white man was out of order. Because that boy had mental health issues and he didn't even steal the bike. So he's all the way out of pocket. But we're going to get into that, man. This is Sean Moore. Shout out to Sean Moore. He bringing the heat early. Like, this is what we do on Outlaw Radio. We don't care about the turd. We don't care about no Negro whisper. Nigga, let's talk some shit. I got you.
Milwaukee, nigga. This is right. Get right at it.
414 for show, right? But yeah, man, it's a lot going on. And I want to start out because it has to be a natural progression. I'm conducting a vocal symphony orchestra. So I have to bring the instruments in slowly. See, I started with myself, had Kamar chime in, then Rail comes in. I'm going to bring the strings in pretty soon, if you know what I mean. I know, I'm on some bullshit. Yeah, I'm having visions of grandeur. I'm sorry. I expect a lot of myself. I think it's called self-efficacy. I don't know. Google that. Y'all like to Google everything else. But listen, I told y'all about your man's Kanye, didn't I? Didn't I tell it? And I don't want to talk about this from a scared Negro perspective because I don't want to.
That's how it's going to sound, Kev. Be careful.
I don't want to.
That's definitely how it's going to sound, man. Be real careful.
But no. And see, if you go back and listen to the show, what I said was I wasn't like questioning the fact that he would do it. I was saying that there would be some serious ramifications for what he done,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And we're talking about the supposed anti-Semitic remarks he made. First of all, I've read the statement because I'm going one way on Kanye, and then I'm gonna bust a zigzag on him too, because he's still a dumbass motherfucker. But I'm
I agree to disagree.
my understanding, okay, my understanding expanded a little bit because he said I'm going DEFCON 3 on you, and he said that they basically will go after you if you try to stand against their agenda. In that statement, I see no lie. We all know how dominant Jewish people are. Like, are we gonna act like Jewish people don't really hold on to a lot of the wealth in this country and that they're able to take care of themselves? We absolutely know what they do, right? So there's nothing anti-Semitic about that. The whole DEFCON 3 thing was that, like, I mean, if you're gonna take that to heart, you're gonna take that to heart. That's neither here nor there, right? That's pissing in the wind. If you don't move, it's gonna get on you. So I'm just saying, I didn't think what he said was anti-Semitic, but the sentiment of what he said is what they're focused on the most. So we're gonna talk about that tonight too. And like we talked about is he a independent thinker? Is he a genius and all that kind of stuff? Man, we're gonna let all of that be. Time Moore said this thing though, if he was this the thing though, if he was with him and was over there stealing, he didn't shoot him, didn't go to jail, and hopefully learned a lesson. Okay, so he's still talking about the young brother, the young mentally ill, the mentally disabled brother who the white man had in the chokehold on the internet. Shabaka Sankur, shout out to Shabaka. He said he's gonna be calling in. Sean said, "Fuck them crackers, fuck them crackers." Fuck them saltines. Erica Veal said, if you follow the occult, Ani Ansaru, I don't know how to say that. He did an excellent breakdown on Ye. I don't. I haven't invested in Kanye that much because even though maybe his standing up against whatever, what have you, in terms of the agenda is great, when you turn around and say some ass backwards shit about he died from fentanyl, he didn't even knee all the way on his neck, that takes away the value of all the shit you said that may have, or stances you've taken. That just reinforced my belief that something's wrong with your ass, because this is the most self-hating shit I've ever heard in my life. He died from fentanyl. He said he hardly had his knee on his neck, and it's controversy right now. Got Nori ass on the hot seat. I mean, when you start getting the people around you in trouble, but it's all to the good because they all getting views out of the shit.
That was the whole purpose.
So
that was his whole aim.
So there's no problem with him saying that with him saying that. I mean, y'all don't find a flaw in his expression of that, even if it ain't ruining your day, making you piss on yourself. You don't think this is asinine of him to say?
Well, some of the stuff is foul to say. You know, it do come out foul. You know what I mean? But like when you take the emotion out of a lot of it, man, a lot of the shit he say kind of makes sense.
The George Floyd.
I mean, I ain't saying some of the stuff that you saying. I'm just talking about on a wide array of the shit he be saying.
On a grand scheme.
I ain't just speaking on those issues. You know what I mean? That you just said.
Let's talk about the George Floyd comment. Let's isolate it. Let's talk about the George Floyd sentiment. We don't want to cast a broad stroke, Kamar. I want to really just address him saying some stupid shit like this. This sounds like something the average conservative white dude would say. So I don't know. Real, what you think about this?
Shit. Again, man, I mean, that's his opinion. I try to stay objective. I mean, shit. I mean, I ain't see no death report. I don't know how the brother died. I mean, the bottom line is he gone. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is he gone, no matter the means of him being gone. He's gone. You know. Now I do know that they like to manufacture shit for the sake of agendas. So man, I can't really tell you. You know, I heard what he said about the fentanyl and shit, but I just like with Kanye West, man. I told you I always thought he was on the spectrum.
On Drink Champs, Kanye said he felt like he said he think he saw him shoot it in his arm while he was kneeling on.
He said,
I don't know, G.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and you know what I mean? All that shit's neither here nor there. But the fact is, like you said, the brother is dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
brother
an
gone.
issue. And that's what the issue was
Okay,
about. It was about the police and black people.
so
That's
with
the whole
y'all,
demonstration.
so from your perspective, you can just it's cool and just to say any kind of ignorant, stupid shit that is it don't matter because he's dead. The fact that this dude is spouting this kind of ignorance and it all goes to reinforce an agenda. Let's not act like the conservative political agenda is not in effect. He's supporting this shit and spouting this ignorance. It's like you need a Pied Piper. You need somebody to play the flute, and I'll get the rats out your city, but you lead the children away from the city. It's the same. It's the same thing that they always do. Now, once again, we know George Floyd is dead. That's not the question. The fact of it is, it's one of the most egregious miscarriages of a person's justice, personal justice, and freedom and rights. What happened to George Floyd? It doesn't matter if he was high on fentanyl, if he had just drunk some old English, whatever he had done. This dude had his knee on the back of the man's head for 9 minutes, and he perished. So why is this coming out your mouth? Where's it? Because he can make, like you said, he's able to make a lot of points about a lot of shit. Why is this what you're talking about? Who put you up to this shit? Right? Or are you really just that lost? Go ahead. You said you had a question.
Yeah, okay. So certain subjects is touchy. Like if I got a certain opinion about a subject, like I'm all fucked up now because I got this opinion. I got a perspective of it that I hold on to. I mean, you know what you see where I'm going with it? Like, because we always say we all entitled to our own opinions. We expect you to think. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And this is, I mean, shit. I mean, it ain't our fault. I mean, I can't let it move me how somebody else thinking again. Like, okay, I see moves what he doing, physical shit what he doing. I see that. I always say that while I watch a motherfucker move. I don't fuck what they say. I'm gonna watch a motherfucker move. That'll tell me all about it. You know what I mean? We talked about Charleston White. He say a lot of dumb shit, but you know what I mean. He get a lot of attention, and he getting attention. So now he also gaining leverage on the moves that he busts.
And
I mean, I'm just saying, man. I mean, it can't work like that.
We're gonna talk about him too with his dumb, ignorant ass. But I want to finish this Kanye thing. First of all, I understand that people have opinions, right? And I think there's a time and a place for everything. And I think there is a right and a wrong way. See, people always try to like blur the line between right and wrong. It's a right time for some shit, and it's some right shit to do, and then there's some foul shit you could be doing, and it's foul timing. So certain shit that's your opinion, out of respect. If you're a person who believes in respect, you don't say certain shit. It's like me showing up at somebody's funeral, getting up saying, hold on. Just let me finish. It's like you getting up at somebody's funeral, getting on the microphone talking about, yeah, this motherfucker owed me $15. You know, he'll borrow some money from your ass and wouldn't pay you back, and he was broke. It might all be true, but really, this is where
all this stuff is coming because people asking him questions and he answering them.
Right. I just, everybody has a right to their opinion, like you said. But I think when you spout ignorant shit and you do shit that's not in line, this is extremely off code for us as people. Because first of all, if you're going to have this conversation, you have to have it in a different place in a different time, and you have to be of a much more sound mind. And I don't think right now mentally he's strong enough to even really be able to talk about that, because it seems like he has no understanding of it. It's that rich nigga Bill Cosby syndrome shit. When you get a certain amount of money, your mind short circuits, right? So that's just my opinion on Kanye. Y'all can call in. I see the chat rooms lit up. Everybody's welcome to their opinion. Outlaw Radio is a safe space for foundational Black American males to discuss these issues, right?
Did you watch the new drink champs with him?
That's what he's in trouble for about the George Floyd thing. But even before that,
it's one that was on. It was a short version, but then it's a long version too.
Well, it's a clip, and then it's the whole show.
Part 3.
Yeah. Right.
Like that.
3 ain't out. I don't think 3 is out yet. Is 3 released
yet? It's out. That's what I was talking about. That's what I'm talking about now. I watched it earlier today. I think there's a lot of shit in there where he made plenty sense, man. He made a lot of sense. He was talking about what he was talking about going after Jews and shit.
Like with the Jewish people and how they
going after media. And how these motherfuckers getting at the record on the record label motherfuckers. You know what I mean? How they controlling this shit. You know what I mean? It's them motherfuckers that's got the music the way it is on the radio. I mean, you know what I mean? Because them the motherfuckers that's passing the money out.
Once again, I started this out by saying I understand his stance against the Jewish people, and I didn't see anything he said that was anti-Semitic. I would not take that from him. What I'm going at him about is when he says I guess once he gets on a roll, he's just his shit rolling downhill, right? It's snowballing because the George Floyd shit was some asinine, dumbass fucking nigga shit to say. And so, yeah, that's cool. He might make great points. I'm not saying that he's always wrong. I'm saying in that regard, he's wrong and he needs to be called on it. Similar to when I said Charleston White, whatever stance he's taking against rappers, whatever and if he's really, like I said, if his contribution is outdoing his criticism, more power to him. But when you tell another man, a grown man, you're going to Trayvon Martin, his son, another black man, you're going to George Zimmerman, his son.
Shit, wow.
The shit's just, now we done went to a whole other level. And so then people be like, well, that's how you feel. That's the opinion. Okay. But at the same time, you'll incite this. But then when somebody get back at you, you will call the police on them. That is the motherfucking craziest con game I've ever seen in my life. And people just like overlooking it. Like, dude, how real is that though? For me to say,
motherfuckers do. Hey, motherfuckers doing that every day, all day, right now. Like everybody doing it. Like I remember growing up, motherfuckers was doing it to me. You know what I mean? That ain't nothing new. Like we should respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like
it was foul. It was foul now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, shit. That shit ain't cool. That shit is not cool.
I'm just saying, like, because you said, how come ain't nobody making no big issue about it?
Ain't nobody saying nothing about it.
It got normalized and shit. Like, motherfuckers don't be guilty.
It ain't never cool. That's like saying murder is normal. So fuck it.
Bullshit, man.
It's bullshit. It's foul. She said, Erica Veal said black and white are legal status. She said she's white. Oh, good luck with that. She said maybe he knows something we don't. Okay, if that's where we going. Where was mentally ill developed dude's parents said. Sean's still talking about that. We're gonna get to it. Skull and bone. Kamar, stop listening to Ye, bro. That's what Sean said. Ernest said if there was video of George shooting fentanyl, don't you think the officers would have seen it? Man, listen.
Thing about me is I listen to everybody.
He making moves.
I feel like everybody got something to teach.
Sean Moore
from everybody, man.
Sean Moore made a good point. He said he's making moves, but they're overshadowed by the mess.
Yeah, we don't hold on to the moves. We hold on to the mess.
Shout out to Deion James. Nothing Kanye says moves me because he's lost his heritage and roots in the community. People have to understand when you reach a certain level, your reality is not the same as the average person. I agree. We say reprobated mind.
I got another question. So if I get to a certain level, I'm gonna be fucked up.
It depends on how you go.
You niggas might as well cancel me now because I'm gonna be a billionaire.
Right.
I was gone.
Well, I tell you what. You niggas might as well cancel me now.
That's
fine. I'm gonna be a billionaire. I'm telling you now.
I would hope that you became a billionaire. I would hope and pray. I would be so happy if you became a billionaire. But if you got on some,
I'm just saying, man.
If you got on some weirdo weird shit, start doing a bunch of weirdo, I would call that shit like I see it. I'd say it to you. Come on, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? And you might say, well, Kev, I'd be like, this motherfucker done lost his mind. I wouldn't be like, well, he just thinker. Hey. No, I know the old Kamar. I know who Kamar is. Now this the dude with rain galoshes on with a mask on.
Now that's the thing. Now look, right there at that point, Kev.
Weirdo shit.
What if I have a way out perspective on a certain subject that's touchy to the community, and most of the community don't like it?
I have a weirdo.
I mean? And then right there is where motherfuckers say, oh shit, look, he got that money and now he's going crazy.
We know, listen.
You gotta stop that shit, man.
Foundational black people are not that dumb. I want everybody to understand. Regardless of what people think you think. When you want some weirdo
shit, is emotional though, G.
We see it and we'll call it.
They may not be dumb, but they emotional.
Right, well, I'm just saying they know it. So when you own it, you can't act like you should just admit and say, I know. Y'all tripping off me. Y'all think I'm weird. Don't be surprised or like, oh, what the fuck they mean? I'm just No, you're acting weird. We know that there's a line. I mean, I
Man,
don't
hey,
know. I feel like
it is. This whole subject is crazy, man. Because see, look, you look at some of the motherfuckers. Motherfuckers probably, like you said, Kel. Motherfuckers thought you was crazy. You finna do a podcast
I wasn't
or
doing.
whoever. A motherfucker make it big doing something. Motherfuckers
Now,
thought they. Somebody
Kamar,
thought they. A lot of people thought they was crazy at one point because they wanted to do that. You
Kamar,
know what I mean?
Kamar. We're not talking about somebody coming up with an idea to do something that you've never really thought about. Let's look at it like Little Richard. Let's look at it like Michael Jackson, fake nose, drawn, tattooed on lips, fake wig implants in his head. I mean, just a mental conniption breakdown because of long-term fame and wealth. And a great artist, and I'm pretty sure he's very knowledgeable. But that was some weirdo shit. We don't hack our noses down to the goddamn gristle. We don't tattoo lipstick on it. That's weirdo shit. We don't do that shit.
Hey, them
So,
type motherfuckers is always here from the community too. Like, you know
well,
what I'm saying?
that's
Like,
how
kept
you
away
end up
from the
with.
community.
That's how
Like
you end
Mike,
up with.
Mike didn't have no normal childhood.
That's what they say, but we don't know that. I think Mike grew up just like everybody else, except they became
Shit,
rich and
he
famous.
couldn't have grew
But
up like
that's
everybody
what you
else.
call blacklash. Well, if you say you from Gary, Indiana, and y'all started out poor and you got your ass whooped by your daddy in
How
a black
old was he?
neighborhood, that
Well,
sounds like
how
normal
old?
shit to me.
But what I'm saying is, okay, he may have
You didn't
been
grow
like
up
what,
on Mars.
7, 6, 7. He was 6 or 7, and now he thrust in a stardom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All
Soon
that
after
money,
that,
whole thing, all that money.
you know what I mean? He ain't had no clue what was going on out here in the world.
That motherfucker
Ever.
made a love song to a rat named Ben. Stop playing with me.
But I'm gonna tell you too, it
Weirdo.
was a lot of shit. It was a lot of stuff about humanity. You know what I mean? That Mike was real good about.
Ernest Walker said, Ye only complains when it affects him. He didn't care about saying that Jew shit until they took some from him. Well, they done froze his. See, this is the funny part. Who gets kicked out of their bank? And the bank is shooting itself in the foot because really you need the money I put in there to keep you
explain it. Hey, watch the Drink Champ. She explained all that shit. He go into detail about it.
Yeah, only complain.
He explained his perspective. Like, I can't do it for him.
So the one interview where he's talking about it when he's getting in the SUV is in the People's News Network. I'm just not really interested. I really don't give a shit. John Moore said, yes, he did. The Jacksons are my sister's family. They were normal growing up. He's talking about Michael Jackson. When Mike crossed the threshold and got on some weirdo shit, I was like, somebody should tell him, like, Mike, dog, what's up? And that's why I say when anything goes, I can do this because it's what I want to do. I want to have a bunch of little boys over my house and give them wine and watch porn, and we're all gonna sleep in the same bed. And then when people be like, Mike, but I didn't have sex with him. Bruh, the fact that you got a room full of little boys in your bed drinking wine, watching porn is weirdo shit.
Jesus juice.
Jesus juice.
Yeah,
right.
Jesus juice.
Right. Motherfucker.
That shit wild.
Erica Veal said he should open his own bank. He absolutely should. That would be a real great thing for him to do, and especially if he could, because like you all said, he has the money. You felt like he was expressing a certain amount of freedom. He has the wealth. So if this is the turn, and this might be the thing that sets that off. If he say, "I'm gonna give it a bunch of other rich black people, we'll start our own bank."
What if we got behind him on some of that shit that he talking though, like that? You know what I mean? Like, look, he trying to buzz, he trying to get at that system, and ain't no better way for us to get at that system than to empower ourselves, right? And that's kind of what he's talking about. You know what I mean? We talking about black businesses and shit. I ain't saying he's saying that, but it's about empowering ourselves. And if we got a motherfucker that's willing to get at the system, man, and start talking about the shit they doing, it'll be easier for us to get past it.
But I can't fuck with you when you were scared. When you
scatter, motherfuckers, you got a lot of young black people that go into these record deals blinded and don't know what the fuck is happening.
When you're scattered,
you know what I mean? So I'm just saying there's certain shit that we could get behind with a motherfucker. Man.
I can't follow no scatterbrain.
Negative shit that we don't like so much.
I can't follow no scatterbrain.
We can
you all over the place. Why would I invest money in you? You're all over the place. I can't
At least
trust
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna latch on to the
business
good.
because
I ain't gonna latch
you
on to
saying
the
this
good.
one day and then you going in a whole different
That ain't
direction.
good for my
I'm
spirit.
saying, but we ain't never actually sat down and had a conversation with him ourselves. So it's
That
like
ain't good for my spirit.
What he's doing is he's scatterbrained. I can't. I'm not getting behind you on no business venture like that when you all over the place. Who knows
Shit,
where the
I
fuck you
would.
gonna be in 2
I
years?
get behind it. I get behind the business venture with him. God
Courtney,
damn it.
is your camera off or is it my system?
yeah, no, it's off, man. I'm over here looking like Sealy from The Color
Uh,
Purple. So we just
uh,
gonna we just gonna stay behind the apple part.
uh, wow. Someone
Natty.
said him
There you
J
go.
and B. He said him J and B can end world hunger. Fuck their system. We had a system that worked for us. Return to that to where we don't need them for shit. Okay, so Sean is saying
What
we
do
need
we
to
have
have
that
it to
work?
our own. I'm just saying I can't fuck with no scatterbrain motherfucker. If you all over the place, I'm not fucking with you. You got to be right in the head, man. I can see insanity when it's in front of me. Shit, I mean, people are just like anything goes nowadays. Like we don't. That's when people say we used to have structure and this and that. Well, we don't have any now because a motherfucker can do whatever. He can say the most weirdo shit and do the most. Like we talking about Charleston White. Everybody keeps talking about, but he does things in the community. He's actually on video admitting to raping women. Like
I
it was
heard that.
something that they did. We rape. Yeah, I rape, and he's bragging about it. So I'm saying people say, but he do some good stuff, Kev. All right, I'm a George Zimmerman, your son. There has to be a line, man. I think this world is there's principles. We always have to have principles, man. When we stop having principles and morals, we really fuck. So if anything goes, fuck it then. Everybody might as well just get strapped and wait for somebody to come try and kick your dough in, because then you won't have no line. What's the line?
Ain't,
Ain't no
ain't
line.
that where we at now, pretty much?
Yeah,
Not
I recommend
necessarily.
everybody get a strap.
Yeah.
Everybody talking about getting strapped and waiting on somebody to come fuck with them. I mean, that's where we at now.
He said, "Sis, funny what, Sean?" He said, "Sis, funny." I don't know what you're talking about.
Probably talking about Courtney.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the ceiling.
Does she look like Celie?
Yeah, man. I am. Y'all should see this little fro. It's getting braided tomorrow.
Silly.
Wow.
Natty.
I'll be braided on Wednesday though.
Y'all might as well do the hand thing, the patty cake. Right?
You and me must that shit. Dude, I don't know if that's supposed to be a comedy or what, but I watched that movie to laugh. Like Mr.'s father is the best character in the world to me.
Yeah,
Like,
It was.
dude
It
is
was
hilarious.
though.
What's his name? His name
Dude is hilarious.
His name is Adolf Caesar. He
I
was in
just I
a
think I only
Gentleman's
seen him
Story
on
too.
2 movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, is that the military movie?
yeah, a Gentleman's
Yeah,
Story.
them the only 2 movies I know him off of. The military movie and Color Purple.
Yeah, he was
He's
great.
funny in both of them.
He was great. Sean Moore said before integration, we had thriving communities. We absolutely did. Deion James, is he really getting at the system? I don't even take him seriously. No one can get at the system. The system is too large and too rich for an ignorant black man. Points at the system. If you think Kanye is doing something, you're a bigger fool than he is. I'm not disagreeing with you, Deion.
Well,
He said,
I appreciate you calling me a fool. That's okay. I'll be that. Thank you. I love you, brother. I love you.
I've been called worse, right?
I take that shade. I caught it. You know what I'm saying?
One for the team.
Yeah.
John Moore said, principles. That little disabled boy parent should have showed principles of parenting, damn it. We still ain't there yet, Sean. We halfway there. I'm finna finish Kanye off. Deion James said Kanye is part of the system, and he's like a defiant child, and his father will discipline him, and he'll get right back in line. I don't think anything is even really relevant to what we talking about, except for the money, because the money is where it's all at. And if that money you kicked out of a bank, and I don't know how many banks he has, but I think this is unprecedented. I haven't seen, especially for them saying he made an anti-Semitic remark, which I didn't find the anti-Semitism.
Well, they doing that. They doing that to a lot of conservative people now.
Right.
Not only Chase is booting them out the bank, but now PayPal, from what I heard, PayPal is now saying they could fine you if they find that you've been posting misinformation or shit like that. Yeah, so it's just, to me, it's just a war on free speech. It's like It's like if we don't like what you say, it's like, I mean, but again, you know, I don't look at the motherfuckers saying shit. I try to watch the motherfuckers that's actually doing shit. We worried about what somebody's saying. Well, there's a whole lot of niggas doing a whole lot of shit that we could be addressing instead of a motherfucker saying.
Exactly.
I don't see. I keep hearing people say that, but I don't know. You motherfuckers is extraterrestrial. If you can live on this planet, hold on.
Me and you just watched some more politicians, some black politicians in our community try to take away one of our rights.
You're an alien if you can live in this world and not be affected by things that are said. I don't know why people keep saying it's just words. Why we paying that shit means something. These are indicators.
It means shit to a lot of people.
You use
But
words.
why do we give a fuck about what he's talking about though? It's just like
my thing is this, just like y'all was saying about the repercussions, everybody got the right to feel how they feel. Like even with the Charleston White shit, words is words, actions is actions. If the motherfucker saying one thing, he ain't getting sweated by the cops, but you have a reaction to his shit that comes with some actions that can get you sweated, you going to jail. Like it's like when people say shit and you react to it, congratulations, you have now given somebody else your power. We talk about giving power away. You know, we talk about giving power away.
That's not always.
You don't feel if somebody's words have moved you to action, that's power, fam. That is.
I don't think it always leads to your downfall because
it don't necessarily got to lead to your downfall, but it led to you moving.
If somebody
that's the power part.
What he's saying is it moves.
If somebody gives you a warning
about it, he's just saying it moves you. You let somebody move your emotions.
If somebody gives me a warning, I should act accordingly. I should recognize the threat. And if a motherfucker makes his declaration, because they don't do a declaration of war in sign language, they say that shit. This is war. Y'all better be ready. So
Kanye ain't committed war to nobody.
You don't know. He might have. Who knows what he's done to Kim Kardashian? You don't know what he's done to her. You done probably peed all over.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Reaching like a motherfucker, man.
You are
reaching like a motherfucker.
You get the metaphor. You reaching too. Like he ain't at, I know this motherfucker ain't at war. Let's both play silly then.
Because he just went there and we just talking about Kanye. Somebody declaring declaration on you and no, man.
But I'm saying though, can they
real shit. If somebody say they gonna hit you, then react to it because now, you know. But if somebody just saying some shit, okay, like even the Charleston White shit, that was dumb as hell what he said. I'm not gonna take that away from him. That was dumb as hell. That was fucked up, and to even make that kind of, what the fuck is the word? I can't even. But to make that connection to Trayvon and Zimmerman, I mean, like real shit, it's fucked up to me because I didn't even like when Rick Ross made the Trayvon Martin reference just to rhyme in his song and shit, you know. But again,
but what's the difference between what he said and what Kanye said? Because what he said was he didn't even die the knee on the neck. He just took fentanyl. And what's the difference? They both just equally stupid ass statements. Go ahead.
It is that definitely is a stupid ass statement. You just shrug and say, "Dumbass Kanye West." You know, he went. Well, what is it? Dumbass Jack. You know, you just gotta look at it. Dumbass Jack. He did exactly. You know that, and that's how you can free yourself of the emotional arousal. Is just chalking it up to dumbass Jack saying some old retarded shit.
I think that's something that we gotta learn how we gonna have to learn how to.
That goes to that emotional intelligence, man.
I think y'all throwing words around improperly though, because nobody's emotionally aroused by the shit. I'm not having a conniption fit. It didn't stop me from getting A to B in my day. I'm saying I recognize it and I call it and we keep it moving. That's just me. I'm one of those people who I had to say, look at this dumb motherfucker. Man, I'm out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
what you say.
Some people be like, I wasn't gonna even say nothing. I bullshit. I'm gonna say something. What the fuck?
Now, can they sue Kanye for this though? Like for free, to me, free fucking speech. Even though he spoke on we speak on shit all day, every day. So we can't speak on motherfuckers getting killed to saying we thought, man, that motherfucker, we really, to me, from what I saw, that ain't, I think that, can you really sue me for that shit? I mean,
from what I'm looking at, they're saying
they got motherfucking Jones.
His brother's the one who's looking into it, but from what I've read, they said he can't sue him for defamation because George Floyd is deceased. I don't know if there's some legal rambling. We'll see. I don't look. First of all, that man got enough money. Yeah, he got lawyer money. So if you do sue him, you'll be in court for the next 10 years. Can you stand the rain? And
Yeah.
that's how most rich people freeze your ass out when you sue them. Okay, we'll just
Right,
litigate.
right.
You got lawyer money, motherfucker? I
Right. Yeah. And that shit is expensive. Niggas ain't got
all right.
that.
Your mama only got one car to sell, and then y'all out of fucking retainer money. So it's just rich people be like, no, he works for me. It's my lawyer. This is what he do. So we'll see. Sean Moore said, wherever Queen Rick show up at talking about protesting and shit, it's a real problem. His ass showing up. Queen Rick, which one you talking about now? He said Queen Rick. I seem like trouble on the horizon. Sean Moore said Kim K has been pissed on and in before. I'm just not aware of it. I just Kamar
Man,
was
I
pushing me,
wouldn't
so I
doubt
pushed
it. They
him back.
said her
What?
mama was damn near directing the porn. Like, nah, y'all need to make a better porno than this.
Oh Lord.
Like you know, some shit. That family kind of
That ain't got
wild.
enough oomph to it. Y'all need to do something.
Right.
Right.
Kanye said Drake slept with the mother. He said Drake done hit that. I said, wow,
I'm
wow,
sure he has.
man.
Well,
I
he
mean,
telling Drake business.
Right.
right. But drop
Right. I
it
heard Pillow talking and shit.
all over the
Goddamn
place. That's why I
yay.
can't follow you and shit, man. Yeah.
Niggas.
You and Charleston in the same club.
All of them. And that
So
nigga, the baby. All of them. Just out
So
here.
Sean Moore is talking about this event that happened on the South Side. It's in the People's News Network, and I guess this is a situation where there's some kids riding a bike. Now, there's some things that I don't understand. First of all, we understand from hearing this brother's voice that he was mentally ill. There was something going on there. But he had like a full beard and goatee, so he wasn't a kid, I don't think. But he sounded like he was 6 years old. And he, I guess, was under suspicion that he took a bike of some sort. He was riding a bike with some other kids. This white man has him holding his bike and has him by the throat. And this mentally ill dude is saying, and I'm not trying to make fun of him, but it's just so sad. He's like, I know the bike. I know and it's like, I'm looking like, what's going on? Luckily, there was a brother on the scene who pulled over, took out his phone, started to record it, and took his hand off his neck. And he said, you don't have to hold him by his throat like that. Come to find out, this young brother didn't even steal the bike. So and Sean was saying, where's his parents? This dude, he looked grown. I don't like if he has I guess
Well,
his
where is his caretaker? Who is taking care of this person?
and he's riding a bike in the street. Am I supposed to be like, I don't, and he has a goatee and a beard. This dude was not 12. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know the condition
But you
that
can tell somebody probably getting a check for him. Somebody is getting something for him. You know he won't take care of himself. You could tell by his actions that he was not responsible for himself. He ain't got his own crib. He ain't providing his own clothes. Somebody's doing that.
but I still don't think this white man is just, if you're going to hold the back tire of his bike, if you're going to hold his arm, but for you to put your hand around his throat and be choking this dude
Yeah.
is, for me, the imagery of it, first of all, is fuckery. And then the execution of it is some bullshit too. And you feel that, and this is like I said, this dude, you can tell off the rip that he has some issues. And this is what you do. You grab him by his throat, and are you doing your citizenly duty? Is citizenly a word? I don't know if that's civic responsibility, I should say. And you choking a dude that's mentally ill. Like, this shit is foul. So Sean says, he said, they had a protest at the old white man house. They should.
That's right.
Right.
Motherfucker.
He should be arrested,
I
honestly.
need to make a sign that say that for all the protests. Motherfucker. Long. What is it say?
I'm sure they got one somewhere.
Right.
I'm sure they got one. Get the motherfucker sign out.
Right.
But no, so like I was saying, man, we would like, I think this is, even if he stole a bike, that gives you the right to grab him by his throat. And this dude is, like I said, he's obviously sounded like he had the IQ of maybe like a 6-year-old or something. Not saying he was, unintelligent, but obviously his mental health issues here.
Mm-hmm.
Is this not a problem? Am I the only one saying, oh, that's some bullshit? Or should we just say, well, no, but that's doing, right? That's not talking about it, real. That's action, right? So that's something to cause concern, right? You'd be concerned about that.
By him choking up a special person. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild as hell. And it sounds like people are now moved to action to, respond to that.
It's that Trump shit, that residual racist shit in the air. that they want to try and perpetrate on foundational Black Americans. I ain't paying the $5. I would have checked the shit out the white man too. Like, man, if you don't get your hands off his goddamn throat, I slap the shit out your whole ass. That's what he should have said to him. He say the right thing. He said, let him go. And we should have been real mad when we got out the car. Like, if you don't let dude go, we'll beat the shit out of you. I fought in Vietnam. Who cares? I'm American. I'm American. Show American ass kick. That's some out of order shit. I can't stand it, man. And white people know when they doing some foul shit.
Okay, but now that they done protested, what's gonna happen? So like,
I don't know what the protest gonna do. I don't know. I don't know.
Now what?
It's like when the white lady got out her car and spit on the teenagers in Shorewood. Come to find out she's a lawyer. Right. And they marked and she pulled her car up in front of them and get out. This is the kind of shit that they be doing. That's what I'm saying. You gotta have somebody willing to sit there and say, man, that's some bullshit. Don't do that. Now, what if this black dude said, I'm gonna stay out of that? That ain't my business. Oh, he was still on the bike? Go ahead, choke him. Right? And he keeps going, and dude ends up really choking the boy and hurting him. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's important for us to speak up and say something when we see some bullshit. But man, I hope they find some way to charge this dude, man, because he's out of pocket. Y'all said where was his caretaker? I don't know because I don't know who gets his check for him.
Right, he was outside kicking it. They probably was letting him outside play. He was playing.
He may be underserved and undiagnosed. You know, black people, we don't invest in mental health issues. He
Damn, I hope not.
Uncle and a cousin, and he lived with somebody different. So we don't know if they passed him through the family like that.
Right. Living in that back room.
No. Sean said, what do you want him to do? Well, first of all, it's a bike. And these streets is dangerous. You don't know if you run up on, so that could have been somebody's cousin. One of the little dudes could have been holding heat and said, man, get your head off my cousin. He ends up shooting one of them, or they end up shooting him. Right? Like I said, grab the bike. Say, oh no, I'm gonna hold you here. Grab his arm. He holding him with his hand on his throat. Like, it just seemed like it should have been a caption underneath it that said,
was it the white man bike though?
No,
okay, well then get your motherfucking hands off me and this goddamn bike. What the fuck?
Right, it wasn't even your bike, right? Said the problem is that there's no fear of consequence or punishment without dude. He said dude was wrong, however, but their action that caused it. But he didn't steal the bike. So I don't understand how he's to blame in this. He didn't steal the bike, Sean. It'd be different if they actually had the bike. Then I'd be like, well, he didn't have no business with his ass in his yard and he wouldn't have got choked up. But he didn't have the bike. So you were wrong. And it's unjustified. I just think it's some foul shit. It tells you, I tell you, the south side of Milwaukee still has a lot of white people like that. We still got some stone to the bone, hardcore white people that give you that shit. And white power, they give you that shit off, real quick, man. It's your side, nigger. They'll do that. Go over there for a basketball game or something. How many issues have we had with we send our kids to these suburban schools? They go compete in an event. They get there, the whole arena got black face masks and shit and yelling nigger and all this. It happens all the time. That's Wisconsin. That's what surrounds Milwaukee because we're in Milwaukee. They hold the wild counties. They hold the surrounding suburbs. As a matter of fact, most of these motherfuckers live out there because they fled the city when open housing was passed and black people was able to rise above Walnut Street. Do your research. Not y'all, but other people listening. I know all y'all know this. Like, yeah, we ain't saying shit. I know. We all went to school, nigga. We had black history too, nigga. We know Georgia. Sean said, when I was coming up, I didn't fuck with people's houses. It was the neighbor's bike. Okay, well, yeah, we know you didn't. And if he'd have choked you like that when you was little, y'all probably would have beat the hell out of him. But this is a little mentally ill dude, and he didn't take the bike. You saying it was the neighbor's bike. I'm not finna choke no little kid up for no bike. I will grab him. I know how to grab a kid and restrain him. Hey, man, you ain't going nowhere, man. Sit right here. If you see me with him in a sleeper or got my hand on his throat, I'm out of order.
Sleeper.
Right. So even if one of his partners did it, he had the wrong person. So it's like saying, well, I didn't steal it, but you're going to come and snatch me up. Guilt by association. I get it. He said they were over there on bullshit. Why be over there? And one got caught. I'm glad he's still living. Yeah, I'm glad he's still living too. I'm glad they both still living, right? Because you don't know sometimes you don't know who you grabbing. A motherfucker come out from under his belt with a ooh-wop, hit your ass from your navel to your neck, and you be sitting there, I was just trying to get the bike back. Well, you won't do it no more, motherfucker. The choking was wrong, but I would have snatched him up. Yeah, it's like if you catch a stolie in your car and you give him a couple, boom, boom.
This is not the same, though, because it ain't in your motherfucking car.
what I
You
call
don't
him, a
even
Stoli
know.
boy.
You
I
just
should say
snatching
cooler boy.
motherfuckers up and shit. That's what this was.
Yeah, I just think that I don't like to see the expression the white man had on his face, how he was dressed and how he looked.
He just
Is
felt
what I
like
had a
snatching a
problem with
nigga
too.
up.
Right, he looked like he been dying
That's
to do that
all.
to a little kid for a
It
long time.
wasn't his bike. He didn't think nothing about no bike. I didn't hear nobody in the background yelling about no bike. He just felt like snatching a nigga up.
I don't doubt that them little boys, you know how our kids be. I'm not saying they probably wasn't over there on some bullshit, but it's a way to do things. This is what I'm saying. It's a way to do things. If it's a way to be, if you want to stand against something, it's a way to do it, man. And I'm not saying you have to follow some rule book, but that there's parameters, right? Like I said, if we don't have any kind of structure or any kind of direction, what are we doing? We all just fucking blind leading the blind. Somebody got to have some good sense. I say that all the time. Like, you can have a house full of crazy motherfuckers, a crew of crazy motherfuckers. Somebody got to have some sense.
Mm.
Somebody got to be able to say, man, hold on. We doing too much, man. We going too far.
I mean, but if we all crazy though, like then we all might not have no sense. You like somebody gotta have some sense, but if we ain't got no sense, then then we all just crazy and shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can't force somebody to have some sense. No, we just a group of crazy motherfuckers. That's all.
He said Sean said he's disabled by himself or with some others. Now, since that's the problem, we don't have communities and neighbors no more. That's true. Juan Mac
Yeah.
Jones said at some point his arm was his noose. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. There's symbolism.
Yeah.
Just this hand around the throat. It's just like, I'm gonna make a statement for the rest of white America. And I know a lot of them be sitting around like, I wish I would catch one of those niggers in my yard. I'd kick his black ass. It just I'm jumping to conclusions because I'm making assumptions about this white man. He might be married to a black woman, like Serena Williams or somebody. You don't know. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, nigger. My wife is black. Oh, I don't know. Some of us are bed wenches, and some of us are wards of the state at certain points. He said, in communities, your property is protected as if it's mine. All this minding my business is counterproductive to communal living. I am not saying that there shouldn't be, some standards for kids, and just say, no, you can't just go in people's yard and steal shit. But I think you shouldn't be out there choking kids up. That's just me. I mean, y'all tell me what would
You
y'all?
said he had a goatee and mustache, so did the dude know he was a kid?
I don't know how he didn't. I don't know how he didn't say, wait a minute.
As soon as you start talking, son, I did that. You say, oh shit.
Right.
I would have let him go. Like, shit.
I would have held his back tire or something and been like, no, man, you ain't going nowhere. But come on, man. He did too much. He Kanye'd. He did too much. Let's kick his ass out the bank. Chase, that's who Chase should be kicking out the bank. His motherfucking monkey ass. Shabaka saying core. Shout out to Shabaka. He said more reasons for us to train our youth to defend themselves. Yeah, unless you Charleston White saying I'm a George Zimmerman, I'm a Trayvon Martin, Man, I can't even get over that. I can't even believe that we live in a time where one black man said that to another. I don't care if you playing. I don't care if you ribbing. I don't care if you joking. That is some foul shit. That's like saying I'm gonna Emmett Till your ass. Like what? What did you just say? Like, oh my goodness, man! It's
nigga, you better not fuck with me.
Oh man! Why am I?
You might think twice.
Right. I mean, you never know, Kamar. Look, everything is up in the air. Listen. Everybody's right and everybody's wrong on Outlaw Radio. There's no way you can win. There's no time.
All at the same time.
Right. So it don't matter how much a motherfucker yell. He can bring pictures and video and clips and shit. It's still somebody gonna be sitting there like, that's some bullshit. I don't agree with him. I don't give a fuck what he say. You just got to go for yours and shit. So
he can save a million black people.
Right. Damn, I went for mine right there. That was cold. Juan Max said, exactly, look at his reaction when he was forced to take his hand off his throat. Yeah, because like I said, that brother, I like the way that brother said, and he did it in a very cool, calm, and collected way. Like, hey, man, nah, he moved his hand like, you ain't got to hold his throat like that, man. And he started talking to the dude, and he's looking like, are you serious? Like, still, because I'm telling you, his speech is super impaired. So it's like, I don't think he would even know how to steal a bike. Maybe they sent him off. Maybe he was playing it up for the. I don't know. I wasn't there. Look bad though. Sean said, "Listen to this. We become to detached to what's right. Right is wrong. Wrong is wrong. I didn't. He said I didn't have my ass whooped 3-4 times coming home after get caught doing things wrong. My mama wasn't even mad. Shabaka said exactly. Did you check on my vids from Taste to Soul? I have not gotten a chance to see them yet, Shabaka. I'm gonna check them out. He said it ain't always about race, it's about right and wrong. It could be 5 wrongs, it's 5 fucking wrongs. I agree, and that's why I wasn't defending Daryl Brooks. That's why I was saying this motherfucker ran over some old ladies. Like, I don't know if I want him to be able to like come to June.
Hey man, you know what's funny? I was watching the thing, man, and you know his whole thing is he trying to get people get the idea out that it's a doubt that he was driving a truck, right? These motherfuckers got a whole picture of this nigga in the truck, man. Looking out the window with shit, right?
He's a free thinker.
He is. I fuck with the free thinkers, not my niggas.
I heard he made some good points in court. I'm like, so what? He ran over old ladies.
He ain't making no good points.
Now you know how I feel about Kanye. Like, man, once again, Kanye ran white ladies over with no truck. I would say that, but I'm just like, man, when I see it, you say it look like shit, it smell like shit, so it must be what? Some shit.
That's if you would have to sit down and have a conversation with Kanye, you don't know. You don't understand.
I'm cool.
You would have
really,
to.
I am. Because first of all, I'm not a person that has like celebrity idol worship. Like, because I don't. Now, if you watch some interviews where I'm talking to like OG Big Mike, or we talking to like MC Shan, or we've had some real classic interviews, Willie D, I was excited to talk to him, but I wasn't like, I'm not. You a man just like me.
I don't even mean this as idol worship. I think as far as, people watch interviews and we watch what they say when talking to other people, but I think it would have to be a thing where you're having a conversation with that person and you're getting understanding from that person yourself rather than watching them talk to somebody else or through some other lens or platform. You would have to have a conversation with him and then see how you feel.
Okay, so tell me this. So with that reasoning, you think really if you wouldn't sat down with Kanye, it would be totally different from what you see? He'd be like,
fucking with Kanye, so I think we be face to face. I'd be like, my nigga, you so goddamn right. These niggas don't understand.
But you think he'd be normal? Like, nah, man, they just be making me look like that. Girl, I'm cool. Turn that TV on. I doubt it. He'll be on some weirdo shit. Like, you have to put this green paint on if you're gonna walk in my house. You'll be like, what the fuck do I gotta wear paint for? Green paint. Has to come home with paint all up under your nails and shit. I've been at Kanye house. Made me wear green paint. I don't know why I picked green paint. He said, Juan Mac Jones said, really, it was the white guy's chance to be a tough guy, and it was time. And this time, it was about race. He pour white trash and still think he's better than blacks. Thank you. I like that. I like that, Juan Mac Jones. That's how I felt from looking at this white man because of how he was dressed and how he looked with his hand around. That's why I said it should have been a caption under the picture that said "How to Catch a Nigger." Like it was super. I took it as super racial because I'm like that. So maybe it's just me. It's not y'all. It's me. Lisa M. Mueller said, would it be fair to say? What be fair to say? Let me know, Lisa. I might. We talk so much, I'll be forgetting sometimes. Shabaka said he's trying to call in. Ernest Walker said people feel like they have to join teams. A Kanye fan will refuse to say he did anything wrong. Okay. I don't. That might be true. That might be true.
Damn.
If you're a fan of him, if because it does turn into I'm team Kanye.
No, but it's like I say when niggas are doing wrong and saying
not really, because just a little while ago I said he do say some wild shit.
Right. This is like if you my cousin.
Oh man, like damn. But you see how motherfuckers do, like that's why one reason why I don't debate, man. Because a lot of the time when you do have a difference in opinion with somebody, they start saying some little sneaky, disrespectful shit. You know what I'm saying? And think motherfucker don't catch it. A lot of the time I play like I don't catch it, but that's the second time.
Look, tomorrow? What's about that though? What's disrespectful about that?
Huh? Because motherfuckers say a Kanye fan would never say he did anything wrong. Like, why I got to be a Kanye fan? Why can't I just learn from a motherfucker and appreciate what I can learn from a motherfucker?
Wait, now hold on. Did those words trigger you?
Yeah, just like earlier when the guy said some shit like that. You know what I mean? Of course, because I'm the one that's on here that's saying like, okay, cool. I like what he said. I appreciated that part, and I'm just saying.
Kanye is my
I just said yeah. I just said yeah. You know what I mean? And it's okay to be like that. It's okay for me to feel like that. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. That's the thing I'm getting at right there. You know what I mean? We always say a person is okay to have their difference in opinions, right? But then as soon as a motherfucker do, or start debating back, oh, he's snapping, or you know what I mean? It's some weird shit. Or come on, man. It ain't just because I'm a Kanye fan and nothing like that. No, I just really some of the shit the brother do.
Listen, hold on. I really don't think they was trying to disrespect you though. I don't think
I'm not really saying disrespect me. I'm just saying, but that's the slide sneak shit that be underneath the thing. You know how motherfuckers say a serious joke about you?
Yeah.
It's that type shit.
I didn't know you was a Kanye fan though. I thought it was said in jest. I thought you.
I am a Kanye fan. I am a Kanye fan. I ain't afraid to admit it. You know what I'm saying?
Know that. I
like the brother. I ain't gonna say I don't.
I like some of his music, but I'm not a fan like that. I wouldn't consider myself a fan. I thought you just could appreciate some of his music. I didn't know. So I didn't know. I would have said, I bet you Kamar don't even listen to dude. So I don't know. I didn't know. Let me see. Lisa Mueller said the catchphrase for the DB trial. She said is that what it is? Would it be fair to say the catchphrase for the Brooks trial, the Darrell Brooks trial? He said that wasn't directed at nobody, fam. Yeah, he said it wasn't directed at you. So, words mean something, man. I keep telling y'all, you just proved my point. People say I'm good, don't let nobody. Then motherfucker say, wait a minute, goddamn it, ain't nobody finna keep on motherfucking disrespecting me, right?
But see, and that's the thing, though. But you know, we was talking about Kanye, and Kanye ain't disrespected nobody. He may be those people who name he came out his mouth, but none of us should feel threatened by the shit he say or do.
Right.
And that's the thing. I really feel like our whole community got that problem. We get too caught up in the shit people say.
Man.
We get too caught up in the shit other people do instead of worrying about our own shit. We all got shit about our own selves we need to work on. Fuck what's wrong with that man. Fuck what's wrong with that woman. Let's work on our goddamn selves. That's the problem with the community.
And I don't, you know what? I disagree with you to a certain extent. I think that you got the right, especially if somebody do it in a public forum.
Yeah,
this is all meant for. You got the right. This is all meant for public consumption. So if you are in your home, if you're in your home, in your realm with your people, and you expressing your opinion and how you feel, absolutely you have the right to do that. But when you put it out for public consumption, it's fit to be criticized. And you have to understand, when you say certain things, it triggers certain people. So when you get a reaction, you shouldn't be surprised. What I'm saying to Charleston White is, or about in regards to him, not to him, because I don't have no kind of connection to him. I'm saying you can say what you want. Yes, you can. You can get out here and you can stand on whatever you stand on. But there's consequences to what you do and what you say in life. That is a lesson that we've learned a million times over. And if you cool with those consequences, then no harm, no foul. So I meant to say, he's saying, I want to die a martyr. So if he's accepted the fact that I might get killed over this shit, you know, somebody might want to do something to me, but I don't care. That's what I'm saying. So it makes it look backwards when you say all this and say you don't care. And then when they say, I'm going to come get you, you say, I'm calling the police. Like, wait. I'm confused. Do you want it or you don't? You playing with that. And that becomes the norm.
I feel like people should know that nigga ain't serious about doing that.
You think he's serious?
I'm saying, I think motherfuckers should know, they should realize he ain't serious about doing nothing to nobody. He ain't finna Trayvon Martin nobody's son, man.
Right.
You could get
he
to
ain't finna do that, man. This motherfucker be at, like I say, watching motherfucker actions. He at these motherfucking politician meetings, you know what I'm saying, about the community. He ain't finna do no shit like that, man. He ain't doing shit but getting views, man, getting people to talk about him, staying relevant, man.
Very true.
He did rape some women, and he did go to jail for his involvement in a murder as a teenager.
And he may have done that. I don't know. This is the first I heard about that. I'm just saying, it's the first I heard about that. But all I'm saying is, okay, cool. I ain't not cool, but you get what I'm saying? I'm still not finna let nothing you say move me. You get what I'm saying?
No, Kamar, it's on record.
I'm trying to move past.
I don't
They
call,
trying to move past it. It's too late. Y'all
I
so
don't
damn
call
funny.
nobody out. I don't call nobody out for no reason. I wouldn't say nothing like that. That's where you have to do your research. Juan Mac Jones said, but we have to care about what others are doing is how we make a better place for us as a whole. I'm sure, listen, I'm sure, and I'm going to the extremes with it because fuck it, it's Outlaw Radio. I'm sure there was somebody back in the days when Adolf Hitler first started spotting off, they was like, man, that's just him. That's just how he feel. Shit, it ain't bothering me. I bet you there's plenty of people walk around like shit. That shit don't got nothing to do with me until they was putting your ass on the train, taking you off to a concentration camp. Sometimes you got to have checks and balances. We can't just.
He ain't did shit that's finna have us hauled off in the train.
You don't know. You don't know. He got
the train. He ain't that goddamn important, man.
You over trusting, Kamar. You over
trusting. They'll hang that nigga. Man, they'll hang that nigga first.
Ewok, what's up with you, man?
I'm more worried about his Bible beliefs.
Still can't roll another bluff, man. I wasn't talking about him, man.
He can hear you.
Though, man. No, I was speaking in general about any situation. You know what I'm saying? Everybody feel like they got to choose a side and just stay no matter what. Stay with this person instead of, you know, like if I do something that's offhand and shit, I'm pretty sure Kev, you'll be like, damn, Walk, man, I don't agree with you on this one. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who like that man so much, you know, so I'm just using him as an example. They gonna go with him the full ride, and they ain't gonna say, well, shit, I don't know. You know, there's even some other rappers and shit like, I don't know about this one. But they'll make sure they say I love Kanye.
Right.
But they'll be like, I don't know about this one though, man. God damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's the point I was making. You know, you can't just I wouldn't put myself. It's like I listen to Farrakhan every once in a while when I see Brother Ben X, you know, on Facebook or something. I sit there and listen to watch the post and listen to him, but I don't sell bean pies and I don't study the Quran. And I don't believe everything that you know what I'm saying. I don't believe everything that comes out of his mouth, but I think that he's a knowledgeable man, so I listen to him.
Right. So you chew up the fish and spit out the bones. Right? Like, and I talked about this filter that we have to have as foundational Black Americans. We have to have a filter where we can, because you hear so much negativity and there's so much dysfunction in our community that if you're going to be out here and you're going to be able to handle it and you're going to be able to take it, you go home at night, you empty out the filter. And that's why home is supposed to be a place where you can reset and get centered at. That's why if you got bullshit going on in your home, your whole life going to be fucked up. If you don't have a peaceful home where you can go home and just, okay, let me shake all this shit off, take me a nice shower, kick back, you know, smoke something, sip something, whatever you do, you know, meditate, whatever you do, burn the sage, you know, play with the crystals or something, right? If you got to be able to have a place to do that. So I think there's nothing wrong with just calling people out.
No doubt. That's my point exactly. You know, hey, I'm not going to ride with you on everything you say, you know what I'm saying? And if it happened to be on the air too, I don't agree with that, man. You know, then I do my little retort or whatever, and then we have a conversation about it, and then that's that. That's all. Right. Ain't got to be no argument or no fighting shit.
Nah, man. That's why we need space like Outlaw Radio where we can get this shit off our chest. So when I see you in public, when I see you, it's all love. Oh, what's happening, man? What's good with you? You know, ain't nobody bringing nigga what you had said on that one episode. Nigga, who you strapped, nigga? Damn.
Like, damn.
One time, real me in with a question and said I answered. The real was like, I don't know. You should have stayed away from that question. I forget what it was. Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Shit, other than that shit, you know, nothing but love.
Yeah, man.
Shit. But you know, motherfucker need to understand though that's the point I was trying to make once again. Hey, if you with somebody, it's cool to be with them. But hell, don't be afraid to say, oh, that part right there though, you could have did that different. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you know, we talk about it after the fight. If you get jumped, I'm jumping in it. Then afterward, I'm like, dude, what the fuck what was that about? I ain't gonna wait. It ain't gonna be before the fight when I'm like, hold on, before I jump in. Is this justified? We gonna fight, and then on the way home, I'll be like, what the fuck was that? So, you know, as that's sticking together. So, you know, I'm agree with Sean Moore. He said, fuck yeah, let's talk about these 5 states trying to get slavery on the ballot. Tired of all these diversions. Absolutely, positively. You're right, Sean. I don't think it's as big a diversion as people might think, though. When you start spouting out certain ideologies, I recognize it, and I'm gonna call it out. there's a method to the madness here. I don't think this is all accidental. And it'd be nice to know who's propping him up. It'd be nice to know, where, because I know he's in love with Candace Owens all of a sudden. So, and she's a very influential political pundit, right? And so,
He always been down with Candace though, from what I recall.
right? I don't know. Are they dating now? They've been on dates. They holding hands and shit now.
He married. I mean, she married.
Like
You
that
got a
means
white
though.
man and things.
Well, I mean, I don't. About celebrities though, Courtney. You think that they care? Like, she probably crazy as he is behind closed doors, and I'm pretty sure he has the best of the best kind of weed you can find. So he probably got some shit.
I feel like they probably doing some other stuff on the low, but I feel like as far as the public, I thought they've been kind of like supporting, endorsing each other.
Yeah. What do they say? Politics makes for strange bedfellows. So we see how things work out. It is a lot more going on in the world. For instance, Ashanti Hamilton, former Common Council president and alderman Ashanti Hamilton, who is now the head of the Office of Violence Prevention, has come out. Actually, this came out last week and I just missed it. I didn't really get to address it. He said that the office is moving in the direction that it should be now, and that they are getting ready to be able to provide the answers to some of the questions that the Common Council was asking, which they point out as what was the source of the whole contention between the former director, Anita Holloman, and the Common Council and a couple of different aldermen who called her out, or called the organization out, which she so happened to be the head of. And then the explanation of the money, because remember, y'all, we kept asking how do they have this secret money that's supposed to be dedicated to the anti-violence or the violence prevention efforts in the city. And the mayor's like, well, I didn't even know that was there. Seemingly only one person knew. That was and Sean Moore, I forgot. You were on Sean Moore's here. So he can tell me this. They said that, the reason why is because there was so much transition. People switching offices and getting new, people being appointed in different places. So they just didn't know that money was sitting there. So they're working now to figure out how to best utilize that money. And I told y'all that this was just about having data. This was just about them knowing what they were lacking. And what they did was actually pretty smart. Because before somebody else moved in here and took a critical look at what they were doing and said, where's your data? And they didn't have it. They tried to be proactive about it. Like, we gonna jump on this and just fire her because we don't want nobody to know that all this money's sitting here and we don't have a fucking plan at all. And so when we talk about data, we talk about what are you addressing in the community as an Office of Violence Prevention? You saying domestic violence? Are we saying murder, homicide? Are we saying prevention, as in prevention after somebody's murdered? We try to go in and defuse the situation and prevent further violence from occurring. I don't think you can use. I don't know if that's prevention or is it? I don't. Y'all let me know, because I think that's kind of like reactive as opposed to proactive.
Yeah, that's not prevention. We're not preventing. Prevent.
Okay, so
yeah.
So this data, I would like to see now. Brother Ashanti said, it's there. I like to see it because I like to see what their measurables are. I like to see what they're keeping track of. Wouldn't it be interesting to know what they're directing their efforts towards? Because I like to support them in it. As a taxpaying citizen, I like to say, okay, is that what? Okay, I support that. Let's get the real logistics of it broken down. But the Common Council is looking real naked right now. They said it's like 5 spots open. One of y'all should run. Kamar, you should run.
No, you more knowledgeable with all that stuff than me.
Do that shit, Kev.
But that ain't what's required now. We need somebody who got a
Both
more.
We need somebody knowledgeable.
Nah, God's still working on me. I fuck around, fuck up a whole press conference.
I ain't fixed either.
He said I ain't fixed
either.
You seem more together than me, because I'd be all over the place like bird shit. I struggle.
Man, the more it seems like the more I work, the more I learn. I got work to do.
Oh Lord, right. One up the hill, one down the hill. What one won't do, the other one will. Rest in peace to my Uncle Rooster. Shout out to the Rooster, man. I had in my talking points Charleston White is rapey because
rapey.
Because I put the footage of him talking about how he used to, what they used to do, and they had this thing for white girls when they were young, where they wanted to rape white girls, little underage white girls, and
they wanted to. Wow.
No, that's who they targeted. That's what they. Okay. And look, if he's saying it in jest, once again, the shit's not funny. Who makes rape jokes? Like, I don't. This is where we at. Like, but this is who we say. Ooh, he dissed the shit out of T.I. You know what? And it's crazy because Bun B chimed in. Like, some people tried to chime in on the behalf of T.I. And he just, anybody who he gets on, he's just gonna rip you apart because he's gonna say the craziest shit. Bun B being gay and saying,
hey man, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, really, I just see him as like a comedian, a roasting comedian, one of them type of comedians that roast people.
Okay.
That's what I see Charleston White as, man. He like just gaining so much traction off of this shit. Like he really, like I said, he ain't finna Trayvon Martin nobody's son, man. He ain't finna do that shit. Like you said, Kev, you know he gonna call the police. He ain't gonna do that.
Well, there's an intangible, there's a variable here, which you talking about a young person, like who T.I.'s son, who's young, to me, it seems like he's going through something trying to find himself right now. So you don't know what his reaction may be in terms of, no, you know what? Because like they say, he got access to some wealth, obviously, to his dad's money. He moves freely. You don't know if him and a couple of his guys say, man, we gonna go get this motherfucker. And fuck around, run up on him and he shoot one of them. So you don't know if that could happen or not.
And T.I. failed as a father, too.
Well, I don't know
if that happened.
Because his son got murdered.
I'm just saying, if that happened, you know what I mean?
Got murdered?
You like to think that our parents, you know what I'm saying, teach us the right way. Like, okay, I see you getting into it with this grown ass man. Look, son, leave dude alone. Get out of that shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Don't feed him. Don't gas him.
And I don't think he has to gas him. I think once again, you're talking about a young 18, 19-year-old kid.
I think it's gassing him by enabling him.
He ain't got no control over that situation. You know, the last.
I mean, at least give him some advice. Tell him, chill out, man. That's a grown ass man. He ain't finna do shit to you. Fuck him. He ain't got nothing on us. We having money.
Yeah.
What you say, Courtney?
Fuck, dude.
I was gonna say he ain't got no control over that situation like that. Like the last guy I dated, he was one of them niggas from Milwaukee that used to be in the house with Tiny and King. Now, you know, for a season, it was a bunch of Milwaukee niggas in their house. I'm not sure why. Niggas was doing music with her brother before he passed. So there was a lot of Milwaukee niggas down there. And yeah, I was talking to him and heard a lot of conversations, and King don't really fuck with his dad. They had separate houses, so they all was at Tiny house. And I guess, you know, T.I. is real aggressive. You know, he putting his hands on women and shit, and Kane don't really care for his dad for the way that he treated his mom and has abused his mom and things like that. So I don't think T.I. a nigga that he gonna listen to. I think whatever he going through is.
So do you feel like he projecting his disdain for his father onto another man?
And it could be because he didn't always said to the dude I was dating numerous times how he, you know, he'll fuck with his dad and fuck his dad. And so, yeah, so now that he acting out and doing all these other things, and I don't know.
No, I don't see. I don't. People put too much on it, and I can't really speak to because I don't know. Like you said, you talked to somebody who's on the inside. I don't know. I think this 18, 19 years old. How many of us was really listening to our parents? Like, you know, like just because they were saying that, baby, don't go out there and do this or do that. You was going right to that shit. So like, it's not new for a young man to be out here trying to find his way and not listening to his dad. I don't know if I can question T.I. as a father because his son.
But this started a couple years ago, though. And I even learned from the mail. They was like, you know, you gotta start with boys or get in there before they turn like 12 or 13 because that's when shit starts getting real. So T.I. he just was not doing what the fuck he was supposed to be doing. His other boys don't act like that. We don't hear about them niggas out here wilding and tripping. But
that's what made me think it might not be accurate because everybody else straight. It's just this little dude. But Charleston White called him a Muppet baby. He said he looked like a rock. Oh shit! He's just real. Like,
you know what I'm saying, man? Dude, he's a comedian, man. Dude,
listen, if you act like some of the shit he says ain't funny, something wrong with you. I'm just saying, right? And he's like, yeah, that boy ugly. That little ugly freak. Yeah. That little I'm like, damn, dog. He called him a Muppet baby. He said he looked like a used mop. He looked like a rag around his mouth.
Damn.
yeah,
Damn, man. It's so,
yeah,
see, that
yeah.
shit that real will get you jumped by a bunch of little teenagers.
It will
Yeah,
though, like for
roasting the
real.
shit out of me online. Got people calling me Fraggle Rock in ATL. Um, Sean Moore said, not roasting my own horn, not rooting my own horn, but I got the only real prevention program in Milwaukee, period.
That's the
You
fuck
need
I'm
to get
talking
it
about,
in
Sean.
effect. Sean, you need to hit I know you know Ashanti. You need to hit him up and say, let's get it popping. This the plan. Put it in effect. I'm assuming this is Jasmine. Peace and blessings all. Because Facebook will never let me see. So wait, no,
Is
it's not.
Beauty in here?
It's not. That's Sylvester Hamilton.
Oh,
Sylvester Hamilton Jr.
Peace,
Shout out to
brother.
you, my brother.
that's the thing to be Beauty.
Hey, what's
Um,
happening?
okay, what's happening, man? He said peace and blessings. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it
Good
was Jasmine.
evening.
That's normally her who can't see.
Me,
Sometimes
yeah.
StreamYard won't let you see it won't let you see certain things. And look, I'll tell you something else I'm real happy about. I'm real happy that Armor Correctional Health Services has been taken to task. And I don't know what this will involve, but they've been convicted and found negligent in the death of the homie, T-Buck. And I feel like there's no way the brother can ever come back, but I'm glad that there's some semblance of some justice and somebody's being held accountable for what happened to the brother, man. And Kamar, I know you were very close to that brother. You know that brother
Oh,
very
man,
well,
that's my best friend.
right? And I'm glad to see him and his family get some justice because I knew him. He was a good dude, man. And you know when you dealing with certain situations, and that's what I'm saying, man. We go out here and people are like having issues, and we deal with them in one way, and then it ends up fucked up, and then nobody wants to be held accountable for it. So it shouldn't even taken this long for. I understand that there's a process, but this was open and shut, man. From day one that they killed his brother, they murdered his brother. So
Straight up.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad, and rest in peace to T Buck, man, because he was a good dude, man. I knew him well,
Well,
been around him enough to say that, and so you know how people say they know somebody, but then they'd be like they might have seen him once or twice. They
man.
ain't really know him. No, I knew this brother. I've kicked it with him when we hung out with him, conversed, man. Good dude, man. Did not deserve that. Nobody deserves that bullshit. So rest
Man,
up, my brother.
I got some stories about old Buck, boy.
I bet you do. I bet you do. I know, man. I know you do, man. I know
I
you.
got some stories I still can't tell.
He was a independent thinker, right? Like he was a free thinker. So I can T Buck was something else, man. You know, one of a kind, always. And shout out to T Rock, man. Shout out to him too.
Sure.
The whole family. Ernest Walker said, is Charleston walking around or is he low key hiding, talking shit? I think right now he's kind of free to move around. I know there's certain places he don't go because it would not be safe for him to go to California. I mean, because I've seen him make some comments about California that I'm like, dude, and California is just out of control. Like we already see what's going on in LA. Like ain't nobody safe in LA. He said some stuff about Chicago and because he goes really hard on the drill rappers from Chicago. But I've heard him say some things about everywhere. There's nobody who he has spared. This dude says, and he's on every other YouTube video. When you go to YouTube,
Hey,
it's Charleston White, Charleston White, Charleston White.
and one thing he do, bro, man, like you say, he point out shit in the community. He point out fucked up shit. He do it in a fucked up way, but he is pointing out some fucked up shit that need to be addressed, man. Talking about the gang banging and shit, what different gang bangers could do to help shit. I mean, there's a lot of shit that he pointing out, you know what I mean? And again, just like with Kanye, you know what I mean? I feel like we got to find the good in certain people, man, and pull that up out of them instead of holding on to the fucked up shit they do.
I kind of feel like this is the Bill Cosby syndrome, where you telling us what's messed up in our community and we live in it. We know what the fuck is going on in it. We don't need no reminder. People say he calling out shit in the community, but he's saying it to us. You directing
We need to hear it.
at us.
We the ones that need to hear this shit.
It was Captain Obvious. We live it. Do we? I don't know. Like I feel like it's just kind of beating us over the head with it. Like you browbeating the wrong people. You need to take this up a notch. Like I think it needs to be directed in a different direction. That's all I'm saying, Kamar. The need to call shit out is cool. That's fine. But that anger becomes visceral towards your own people. And you are part of this. Because the dysfunction and shit that you causing is part of the problem. Because what happens in the hood? Most beefs just started because a motherfucker said something about a motherfucker who said something, who said somebody did something, who said something. Whole motherfucking neighborhood at war because of the bullshit. So when you start what he's doing, like I said, I just think it's counterproductive. I don't agree with a lot of the shit that he calls out. I say that's true. Because where it applies, it applies. Even with Kanye. When you say something that's relevant, I say that's true. I can feel you on that. But when you say I'm going George Zimmerman, your son, when you say I'm going Trayvon Martin, your son, I'm a George Floyd, that boy. Yeah. And when you start talking about raping women and you just admit, yeah, that's what I used to do. And I'm like, wait a minute, man. I got a problem with this shit. Ain't nobody else got no problem with it. So, but it's the social media revolution. This is the internet has become something none of us ever even anticipated.
Yeah.
The impact of it, right? So the internet outdoes television and radio in spades. Terrestrial radio is holding the fuck on by a thin nail. And that's why I thought it was funny that Nori went on the Breakfast Club and apologized for what Kanye said instead of standing up, because they're not that much bigger than Drink Champs is huge.
Right.
I'm like, why is Nori on there kissing their ass? And they was going off on him. Oh, you waited till it was over. I'm like, why ain't Nori saying, man, fuck what y'all talking about, man? I let that man talk. He came on my show. I didn't agree with what he said. I let him know whether I did it in the beginning or at the end. And he was just like, oh, I apologize to the family and all. Bro, you ain't say it. You know what I'm saying? He said it. So that's the society we live in, where people so sensitive, man. And that's where I do agree with you when you saying this got your temperature up. They say you got your nature rising, right? Like you should, when you see something on the internet or you see somebody doing something on the news, you should react to it right then and there and then move on. You look at it and say, that's some bullshit. And I'm going, it ain't gonna be like I'm gonna go slap my son. Because Kanye
right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? He beat the shit out of his wife because Kanye had a White Lives Matter t-shirt on. It ain't that serious. But I will call a spade and say, look at this motherfucker. Like, you can be driving down the street and see somebody and say, look at this motherfucker right here. Hey, he in the middle of the street on a scooter, right? Man, that ain't all that weird now because people do that shit
all the time.
Man, in the summer, boy. And they stopped these dudes from stealing them goddamn scooters. They put some kind of security on them. Last summer, they was everywhere. You didn't see them like that this summer. It was strictly downtown. Let's see. I wanted to talk about Black Lives Matter too, because I hear I don't know if everybody's clear on what Black Lives Matter actually is.
A scam.
Some people say that.
I didn't.
Some people say that.
So what you gonna say it is?
It's a documentary coming out.
It is, and that's what Kanye West was like with the whole Candace Owens thing, because she's the one putting this documentary out. And it's about how the whole George Floyd thing was a sham and how it wasn't real and black people should feel like we got duped. Like she's arguing against, a whole other show. You talking about coonery. They go to show you that women can be coons too. I don't think it's just limited to dudes, right? But I
just said we got duped.
Well, just because of why are we questioning that? How did we get duped? We know what we saw. We know what happened. We know what's been going on in our community for years. We know the sentiment that police have for us. We know we've all seen a cop like Derek Chauvin. You can see the disgust that he has for us in his face while he's doing his job. We know that these are true narratives. That's something that can't be compromised. So when we see the same situation play out blatantly in the middle of the day, in the middle of the city, and people are recording it on their phones, what do you need to convince us of? And most of us wasn't even really getting caught up in the small details. We were saying the shit's wrong. I don't care if he was high as Georgia Pine, right? I don't care if he had to win that store and snatched all the money out the cash register and walked out and smacked somebody on the way out the door, did it justify somebody putting a knee on the back of his head and holding him there until he died? Basically just almost broke his neck. We know that that's what happened. How were we duped? That's what how are we duped? Because of Black Lives Matter? I got sad news for her. Foundational Black Americans, those of us who are in the know, wasn't riding with that shit anyways. It was a hashtag for us. It was something that just
that's all we ever thought it was.
Right. We weren't paying dues. We didn't buy that mansion that they was living in. We wasn't riding around with it.
Right.
They had a whole goddamn mission statement for this organization. which encouraged really the inclusion of the LGBT community. This was one of their core principles about, because you don't get to talk about Black liberation now without them throwing gay rights and that kind of stuff in there. So, and that's how they counterbalance when we say, no, we need our reparations. We've been done wrong. Yeah, but what about gay people? Like, we wasn't even talking about gay people. Why don't you bring that up? Well, don't you understand? No, I'm talking about being Black, right? Like, you can't do it now. They've hooked that shit. So we thought it was a move, just kind of like a hashtag. And of course, we agree with it because Black lives do matter. That's not to say no other color or race's life don't matter. If I say Black lives matter, that don't mean white lives don't. But do I need to come out? White people need to start wearing shirts that say white lives matter? It depends on what your ideology is. Go ahead, Real.
So, I guess, so two things that I never really fully grasped was one, because I know they was taking donations and shit, and I thought the donations was to like bail people out who was arrested for protesting, and then secondly, so I guess what was the money that they accrued really told to the people that it was going to be used for, and secondly, what was their mission? I guess to say Black like, did they think that was going to stop cops from shooting motherfuckers? Did they think that was gonna have white people say, yeah, you're right, they deserve it? Like, what was the slogan for? Like, I told y'all,
you
like,
know what I felt like?
Yeah,
you know what I felt like? I felt like they coined that right quick because they knew people
to get some
would be
bread,
ready to donate money to Black Lives Matter,
and that's what I think. I
really feel like
know
a lot of people donated, a lot of white people, mainly because Black people probably didn't so much. You know what I mean? Or maybe they did get a lot of Black people too with that. You know what I mean? But I feel like they took that, man, and started taking donations. And look, gay people getting all kind of laws.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a money move, no different than Juneteenth shit being in Walmart.
That's what I feel like she meant. That's what I feel like she meant by we was duped.
You better get ice cream, Rail. You better leave that June next year. You take down.
No, I mean just how Juneteenth. I mean, it's a marketing thing. Just like you got St. Patrick's Day plates, cups, shit like that. I think that Juneteenth was a money move. A capitalistic move. Just like I think just like I think the Black Lives Matter was like Kamar said, they coined that shit because they know that they could ride on the emotional outrage of our people right now. So they knew Black folks was going to align with the movement because we were hurt, confused, and sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then I felt right, and then I felt they knew that white what are they called? White apologists or whatever would grab the shit to show that they down. So to me, it was a brilliant money move, but I never really seen the benefit of me telling another motherfucker my life matters, because you will find out that it matters to me if you ever try to take my shit and I end up taking yours first. So I just always felt that we was beyond discussion if I had to tell you my life mattered. So I wasn't even gonna waste my breath talking to you.
I'm not acting like I don't understand once again, like I keep saying, words mean something. They're indicators. So when you say Black Lives Matter, let's not act like America did need a reminder that, because for the last 100, I don't know, I guess 300, 400, 500.
It ain't that they needed a reminder. They don't give a fuck. Say it as many times as you want. They don't give a fuck. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to pool our money together? Are we going to buy land? Are we going to actually do shit for ourselves instead of begging other motherfuckers to treat us right or see our value?
Once again, I don't think it's about begging, or I don't think it's about they don't give a fuck. It's cool for me for it to be said, for me to be able to say, hey, man, hold on. You can't just get away with anything. You just gonna kill. Like, Black lives do matter. You talk about motherfuckers in Georgia shooting motherfuckers, chasing motherfuckers down, talking about he broke in a house and shooting him with a shotgun, and Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown, and all of a sudden the murder of Black people, it's nothing done about it. There's no justice. And our communities, some of this was directed towards us. In our communities, we shooting the shit out of each other as if our lives don't matter. I didn't have any problem with the slogan Black Lives Matter, because they absolutely do. when it became an organization that people were making donations to and all that, I was Audi 5 anyways. And you ain't tell me to send $5. Oh hell no.
Right.
That was
If
they
you
lost
believe your life matters,
anyway.
donate to the cause.
Right.
Now, I'm
Okay.
from the school of Claude Anderson, and Claude Anderson always was talking about y'all gonna get out there and protest and march. What that ever do for anybody? Claude Anderson always talk about group economics and rebuilding shit. He was the first to say, well, he wasn't the first to say, but even when you hear Dr. Claude Anderson speak, he says how his family owned black bus companies, black cab companies, and the reason they had to shut their shit down is because when black people got the opportunity to ride white buses and shit, they felt like, white ice was colder.
Well, I would tell Claude Anderson.
Again, we can say all we want to say. Yeah.
Go ahead, Courtney.
I was gonna say, is that did he write a book? Is that who the fuck is Clarence Thomas?
No, not Clarence Thomas.
No, I'm saying, is that who Clarence Thomas book or who he started following? Because Clarence Thomas first started off real pro black and all those things. Is that who he started following?
I don't know if Clarence Thomas ever got up on Dr. Claude Anderson, but I will say this: when I hear a black man make a statement like that, if you marching and you did this and you protested, what did that do for you? I think you say that to a person who walked across the 16th Street Viaduct here in Milwaukee and got hit with rocks and bottles by white people on the other side of the bridge, and Harold Breyer's police let it happen. And we eventually, through that protest, and got open housing passed. I think when you say shit like that, you got to be careful, because once again, we get a little disrespectful. It's easy for you to say what that do for you. But those people who were getting sprayed with those fire hoses and bit by dogs and beat were making a statement about what was going on. And it put that shit that people saw on TV, and you can go back historically and look at it because it happens to coincide with the introduction of national television. That shit woke a lot of people up to what was going on in the South. And that started us making whatever progress, whether you agree with it or not, to where we are now. So I wouldn't be so quick to say what that ever do for you. I think protest in itself has a lot of power. You get so high and mighty where you think
because it draws attention to the cause.
It gets people.
Is that the power?
Mobilized. I mean, people get aware. It builds awareness. That's the purpose of it. You say if we protest tonight, it's not going to change the world tomorrow. But if there's a continued spirit of rebellion and protest, then awareness is created. People get mobilized. Issues are exposed. So I wouldn't say, don't protest. Or people say, oh, you niggas all marching and singing.
You know what? Right after that, though, you got to get on Claude Anderson playing.
Maybe so. I don't do. I mean,
you know what I mean. So I don't think he meant no harm in saying that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
he disrespected me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just doing you.
No harm in that.
No, he said the reason why people.
I think what he was saying was, you know what I mean. In order for us to help ourselves, we got to get financially together. You know what I mean?
That's what he was saying. He was saying you want to make
end all in. You know what I mean? Financially, we got to get straight.
Right, and he said you want to make a difference, affect their money. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
so he said,
you know how we be talking about different people got different parts of the revolution. You know what I mean? And you fight your part of the revolution, like that's it. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what he was doing. I feel like he fighting his part of the revolution as far as teaching the people financial literacy and group economics.
But why we can't all coexist? Because my thing is this: even if you're asking for an economic movement, it has to be an economic boycott, which in itself is a form of protest. So you got to watch your mouth when you talk about when they did the Montgomery bus boycott. That was a protest. So when we start saying what that ever get you, and then once again, I do.
No, he brings that up. He said that's why it was effective, because it had people willing to carpool and shit. I think he said it took over a year or something.
But it was a protest in its original. So it's a protest, though. It's you dismissing, not you, but he's dismissing one for the other. So yeah, of course it did have economic impact, but at its heart, it was a protest. We're gonna take a stand, and we're not gonna spend our money over here. We're gonna figure out how to get our own thing going. So I think Claude Anderson is a brilliant brother, but don't get tunnel vision, because what this whole thing should be is activism without activity is a fruitless pursuit, which means I can go in March, and if there's no follow-up or follow through as a result of that march or that protest, then yeah, it's a fruitless cause. We all just got together and went for a big ass walk. But if we get this movement, and after that, the leaders get together and say, okay, let's mobilize. This is what we're doing. This is how we're going to attack this, put together an agenda. Then it's effective. I just think we should have them all. There should be people who do, like
Oh, yeah,
Kamar said. Right. Kamar said, you play your lane. Your job is you get
Right.
out there and march. I'm cool with on the financial side. So guess what? I'm going to make sure that there is a legal fund for those who get arrested. I'm going to make sure that there is education, money, resources produced for education so people can learn more about what they were protesting against. It can't be us against us against us. It got to be intentional solidarity. So I think Claude Anderson, and I would have to listen at his entire speech to, because to understand maybe the context of it. But I just think
I think one of them he was on the Breakfast Club a couple times.
he's been on there a million times. I've seen him all over YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with the brother, but I'm just saying, like, you can't have tunnel vision, and sometimes we get that as leaders, and that's why in Milwaukee we end up being a city of silos because every motherfucker think their organization is the absolute one.
Yeah.
They can't work with other people and get shit done on different fronts, right? Like, so it's like, man, if we ever became a machine instead of a singular entity, like we say, wetness all around me, troop, but I'm no island, peninsula, maybe, right? Like if we had that mentality, I think we'd be okay. I don't want to say Facebook user no more. Shabaka, if you out there, I see you called now. I couldn't see my calls before, but it just kicked in like Errol Flynn. So if you want to call back, he said I felt like BLM was a push for the LGBT financial agenda. No offense to anyone. I agree.
That's what we just said.
Yeah,
that's it.
I agree. I totally agree with you, my brother. Once again, I don't think it was ultimately at the end of the day, it wasn't really about us because nothing came out of it that really benefited us. Now, if you're gonna say those protests, what came as a result of those protests? Because it came to a halt, and then once it was the gig was up, it was like, that's what y'all was doing. That's why they catch them in some $6 million mansions, and they was like, wait, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, motherfucker, you know exactly what you're thinking. Yeah, nice house, right? Let me see. Ernest Walker said the ice cream was give me 5 on the black hand side ass ice cream. Y'all don't leave that alone. Leave that ice cream alone, man. Man, you ain't got much in this world if you fat. Don't fuck with the ice cream, man.
Look, right, yeah, right.
Fat people need love too, right?
Oh my God.
I was showing up me a quart of it, like, oh, is that red velvet cake and shit, red velvet? I'm like, oh,
right, look,
well, that black lady who they stole that recipe from, her shit still up in the store, right. So you still get it.
Right. Kanye be selling that shit pretty soon.
He might be.
Ass out of bank and shit. He ain't gonna record no more music, goddamn it. You have to get Kanye the new album on CD when they get done with his ass. Like, you got CDs, DVDs. Yeah, they coming at his ass. What else we got? Listen, what the hell is going on? Listen, Herschel Walker. Oh my God.
What he did now?
He's just such a lost Negro.
He is. That shit is funny.
So lost.
I mean, it ain't funny because the shit real.
No, it's funny. It's funny.
Like, it's funny, but the shit is real. That shit crazy. You be like, nigga.
Right. Like,
wow.
Bruh, are you woke? Like, what are you smoking? Like, but see, it's very easy to get lost in your own rhetoric. I've seen this play out with individuals from here. I'm talking about it starts out and everything. We on the one. We're righteous. We are out here in this community. We're making moves. You're making moves. Your organization. And then it just goes to somebody's head and the ego and the belief in their own rhetoric and the whole kind of singular leader theory comes into play. That, they say that will never happen again. There will never be a single leader in our community like a Malcolm or a Martin, because now we have to have a consortium of leaders. We have to have a think tank because there's too many things involved that one man, if one man knows how to fix, you're going to fix the economic situation, you're going to fix the education situation, you're going to fix the civil rights issues, the civic justice, you're going to go and handle the political representation and the voter suppression. You're a bad motherfucker. I ain't even got to the food yet. I ain't got to the infant mortality rate yet. Damn you, Cole. If you can solve all that shit, you got to have a cold team, man. And so I think we get too caught up in that singular leader theory. Like, I know I'm enlightened. I know I'm anointed. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a shining prophet. It's like, nah, bro. You just grew up on the east side. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, and I
Them the
should.
ones you want to stay away from.
Yeah, and Herschel is that
The
because
ones
Herschel.
that want to be the leader. The ones that claim they the anointed leader and all that. Stay away from them motherfuckers.
The anointed leader.
Right. Ernest Walker is waiting by the mailbox for his secret decoder ring. He tried out for a spy. For the spy now. Yeah, Herschel is, man, come on, man. Herschel is high off stupid. I don't know if you can be high off stupid, but I think if it's the way he is high off stupid, because some of the shit he just said, like even if you ask him a direct question, it's just like he'll give you the craziest response and shit. Like China got all the good air. You know they done stole our air. No, they want our air. That's what he said. China want our air. Right now, somebody gonna tell me, kid, but you don't know what he know, right? Like, I'm like, all right, man, you can have that one. I'm good on Herschel. Herschel and Kanye and a couple other Negroes in this country need to form their own political party. The absolutely batshit crazy political party.
First off, Herschel Walker and Kanye, don't put them in the same.
Nah, man. They
Don't
should
be
be
like
running.
They cannot go together, man. I don't think
Right, don't be like that, kid.
I can see them on the ticket for president in 20.
No, man.
I vote for Kanye before I vote for Herschel.
Exactly.
No, want to be the vice president, want to be the president.
Hell no, not that.
Matter of fact, if Kanye do run, I will vote for Kanye.
I will. You know, I'm all for the vote for Kanye.
That is one election that Morris Day will get my vote in. I'm trying to tell you. Shit. Jerome Benton for vice president. Somebody got to hold a mirror for Morris when he had a press conference. I'm not going, man. I'm sorry. Hopefully, when that comes about, I will have seen enough to change my opinion on that. I love to be proven wrong, right? Especially if I'm thinking you a clown or you a buster or something.
Hey, kid, why not get behind a brother that's willing to go against the system?
Listen, everything ain't for everybody, right? Like,
I'm just saying, man. Anybody, motherfucker, willing to go against the system? Goddamn it!
I need somebody who's doing it in a different way. I need, because it's like your favorite drink. Like I need a certain flavor. Like I just can't go crazy. I can't do crazy. I can't do full retard. I gotta be like, hold on, wait. What you say? I can't afford it for my little $15 out. You take this little $15 and get your ass about the thing. I'm gonna be sick in the motherfucker. Like this mean my ATM card ain't no good no more. I'm still on the tit, man. I ain't ready for Kanye's level of thinking. I can't show up at my job with a spiked outfit on, with some moon boots and shit, and be like,
you ain't gotta dress like it.
No, you right. I don't want to really. I'm good.
Hey, right? Like I say, man, it's just, you know what I mean? Like it's some stuff that you get behind certain people. We was talking about how you vote for president. You know what I mean? And you're looking for the certain stuff that you appreciate in the motherfucker. And that's who you vote for. You know, with everybody, like I said earlier, everybody got a lesson for me. You know what I mean? Right. And I'm just looking for it. I don't care how much of a fool I may think they is. It's a lesson there for me. It might be a lesson on what not to be, but it's a lesson there for me.
What's that Shaka Khan song, Fool's Paradise? That's one of my favorite songs by Shaka Khan. But you know what Jason used to say on here, everybody absolutely got the right to be wrong. Remember, he used to say that every time you disagree with him, he said, you have the absolute right to be wrong. I don't hold that against you.
Hey, when he get mad and shit, that's it.
Damn. You just tell me, like, you just told me I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about in a slick way. Right. Crack me up with that, man. He would insult the shit out of you in the smoothest way. Like, it ain't nothing wrong with you being ignorant as a motherfucker, brother. It's all good. You'd be like, wait a minute. You be slapping five and shit. Oh yeah. Wait, hold on, dog. What you mean? Like, he was a master at that. That's that old school Outlaw radio. Man, I think we covered everything tonight. Unless y'all got something y'all want to throw in here. I want to make room for y'all to be able to throw in when y'all got something to talk about, because I seen Lizzo was saying now she don't make her music for white people and she don't understand why she's getting that label from other black people. And I'm like, because it seems like to me Lizzo's music appeals more to the LGBT kind of, it seems like it goes in that direction. So a lot of us as foundational black Americans really kind of translate that as that's for white people. But I think Beyonce does too, though.
You know, I mean, we gotta believe.
Yeah.
I think Beyonce's music does too, though, to a certain degree. She has like the cross-dressing dude from New Orleans all over her album and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not like I don't do like I said, I don't do idol worship. I don't be like people be falling out over Beyonce and past. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I to me, a celebrity is a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
So you take them for what their talent's worth. We know rappers come in, they the hottest thing in the world. They have this ride, and then it kind of goes away. And next thing you know, he's just on tour for the rest of his life. I mean, hell,
Right.
Nelly's still on the road, and I remember you couldn't. And Nelly was like, like he's still traveling though, but he couldn't sell 2 records if he tried. Like, 'cause nobody wants to hear it. But Kanye can still
Motherfucker that
sell
went
records.
diamond already. He good.
But Kanye can still sell records though, because he is a very talented musician. I'm not taking that from him. I just think, when you start spouting off ignorant shit to a bunch of people who are already suffering for a lack of knowledge, you become a threat, right? You take a bunch of people who ain't real smart and you can tell them whatever you want. Like, and then you got a whole group of motherfuckers out here riding on the wrong shit. Like, damn, dog, what's wrong with these motherfuckers? Well, that's what he told us. And you
Right.
believe that shit. Like, it's like, so it ain't far-fetched to see why Herschel Walker has supporters in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
People gonna vote for Herschel. That's why I
Man,
said,
they like Herschel Walker down there, man. That's
yeah,
where
because
he's from, man.
he was
Ain't
a
he
good
from the
football
South?
player from Georgia.
The reality is, people just
I'm
real
trying
shit,
to get down
and
there too.
hopefully it don't offend nobody. But well, it should offend people, it just offend people. But the reality is, most motherfuckers don't like thinking for themselves. So if you got a gimmick to where you can get their attention, and you're telling them so, like, dude, I see it on TikTok all the time, like between motherfuckers, like you see these numbers on this box of milk, that means that you be like, God damn, okay. But then you see them, they got 30,000 followers and shit. So it'd be like, yeah, people just like to be pe- people just like to place their power on somebody else and their responsibility on somebody else so they could say, well, I was just doing what I was told. So in actuality, the average person chooses the path of least resistance, and somebody thinking for them is a whole lot easier than them thinking for themselves.
I can see that. I can see that. Because it's a bunch of dumb motherfuckers out here. So I mean,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
how do
And
you how do you equate it? Like you see, and people will stand on some stupid shit to you. That's what I'm saying. Like I believe we got to call stupid shit out because there's so many people. The side effect of a YouTube or Google is people be out here thinking they know something and be trying to repeat what they saw, and it just be like, what a fucking idiot. I just and I just called it out because I'm pretty sure people listen to my show and be like, he's dumb as fuck. Like Kevin is a fucking idiot. I don't care. So all 3 of y'all, I don't care because I know everybody else know Ewok said a sitting Republican said he didn't care if Walker aborted baby birds. They just want to see. Right. Well, yeah, for the Republican Party, right? Because Herschel in the fucking around, man, and you ain't got no abortion, and here go the check. I didn't know what that shit was for. Hey, Herschel, she wasn't pregnant no more after you gave it to her, right? Like this dude, man, he's a cuckoo bird, man. He is really, really. He's what can happen when black people allow themselves to be utilized as puppets, to get the old ventriloquism syndrome with somebody's hand up their ass working their mouth. So I wouldn't, but you said you'd vote for Kanye. I guess I would have to look at that statement for myself and say it depends on who else was running. I wouldn't just off top vote for Morris Day if somebody else was. It depends on who else was running. But off top, I don't see me voting for Kanye. And I see
hey, look, at this point right now, at the way the last couple elections been going, man,
right,
I'll
and
be
you
voting
can't
for Kanye.
lose.
If it's going the
Right.
same
Can't
route, I'm
lose.
voting for Kanye, man.
The only thing I'm leery about with I can't say I vote for Kanye. I have to see the rest of his shit because he really made me leery with that Christian shit. Like Kanye is one of them people who would demand. I demand everybody praise Jesus right now, or you going to jail because that's just the right thing to do. Like he get off on them. He get off on them weird ass tangents and he be dedicated to them. So that's the one reason I would have to see the rest of his shit before I vote for him because shit he'll fuck around and have everybody in motherfucking Amish clothing looking like Quakers.
Exactly. That's that old Handmaid's Tale shit, man.
Right.
All of that.
You'll be
Fucking around
praising
with Kanye.
Jesus. He already called himself Jesus. Yep.
Right, Jesus.
I don't, but
Right.
you know what though? The way he talked, man, it don't make me feel like he would have a problem. He really got a problem with different religions.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard his
I
religion.
don't think he do. I just think he should talk that Jesus stuff because that's what he taught. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like me, right? Like I kick
Yeah.
it the way I kick it, but I don't have no problem with no other religion. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
People
I ain't
Right,
gonna look
right.
at anybody funny because they say they're a Muslim or a Christian. You know what I mean?
What's that? I was
Right.
gonna say, what's that Jesus stuff, y'all? I don't know. I feel like y'all kind of banging out on somebody. What do you mean that Jesus stuff? Because he believes in
Well,
Jesus?
because you hear him
No,
talking
That's
about
at a
Jesus.
time
saying.
he
How you
no,
say
you
that
remember he used to
spiritual
be on
stuff,
the
Kev? That
he used to be
Jesus
on the
stuff.
stage with Joel Osteen going hard and shit. Remember?
And he
Remember?
just like if you watch his interviews, he talk about Jesus. He talk about he a child of Jesus. He, you know what I mean, and all that type of stuff. He talk the religious talk.
I'm just
That's
going
why I
real
said
hard
that.
with it,
I
Kev.
gotta
So
go look, because just because you believe in Jesus don't necessarily mean you're a quack. I don't know if
Oh
he's
no,
just going
no, it's
overly
No, I
hard
ain't,
with
I
it.
ain't
it
saying that.
it ain't his belief in Jesus. I don't care what people believe as long as it helps them be their best self. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is when I seen him on like the stage with Joel Osteen and all that shit, he was going pretty hard, like for the call for his cause. And when people get that zealous about religion, like I don't fuck with organized religion as a whole. I don't give a fuck if you Muslim, Christian. I don't fuck with it. But if it help you be the best, do your thing.
I feel like I had more problems with him sitting on Trump lap than I did with him being on stage with Joel Austin. I felt like the whole "Make America Great Again," the whole lapdog kind of thing he did, and I know people say, "God damn, this whole show they've been talking about Kanye," but it means something. It means something. I mean, we talked about some other shit too, but all of it means something. Courtney, you got your podcast coming back. Talk about your podcast a little bit.
That's right. So we got an episode coming tomorrow around 4 p.m. with Riviera Lambert. She's gonna talk about her book. She's gonna talk about her products, her business, the different things she has going on, the transitions and changes that she has going on in her life right now. And yeah, I'm gonna set up a couple more interviews. I've been just slowly but surely prepping for this comeback. It kind of came randomly, but yeah. So we'll be live tomorrow around 4 p.m.
Okay, and how if you just on where will they find it at?
They will find it on Facebook. We'll be streaming via StreamYard, so it'll be on YouTube and Facebook. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Kamar, it's cold as hell outside, man. Colder than a polar bear's toenail. What you got popping?
Well, I'll be every Tuesday now. You catch me at the Sherman Phoenix. I'll be at the Sherman Phoenix on the inside where it's warm at. Every Tuesday.
That's a good idea. That tea will be really cold if you sat outside.
Hey, look, but I'm gonna tell you though, catch me, because see, I got hot tea with me too. I got the hot vitality. This is the way I've been drinking it for 5 years. Before I introduced it to everybody as a cold drink, I'm telling you, man, if you like it cold, man, you need to come try this. Come get a cup from me tomorrow and try this tea hot.
At the Sherman Phoenix.
At the Sherman Phoenix.
Real, you the TikTok star. What's going on your end? What you got popping this week?
Oh shit. I finally hit my 1,000 people on TikTok, man, so I can start going live. So I'm gonna try to let my voice right. I'm trying to let my voice heal up a little bit more so I sound less tone lokish, and then I'm gonna get that popping. But people been fucking with my videos, just again talking about emotional intelligence and giving people who are Christian biblical texts that kind of help them understand that law of attraction is in the Bible, affirmations are in the Bible, visualization is in the Bible. The Bible tell you to meditate on these things. So like I said, my goal is I don't care what you believe, my goal is to empower you to fully accept yourself so that you can learn how to be your best, and then also, my shit done finally came. I got my you see the owl on that shit. I don't know why I'm in the owls like that, but this my tournament chess carrier. So now I got the chessboard and the chess pieces, so now I could deliver ass whoopings. Yeah, first it was just through the phone and shit. Just through the phone, iPhone games and shit like that. But now I can slide down on people with the boards.
Man, my latest thing is gel ball blasters. Like fully automatic electric gel ball rifles.
You see the Jamaican dude popping people They was doing The Quiet Place, and he was
Oh,
blindfolded. He was
Oh
sounding
yeah,
like
yeah.
Ox from Belly and shit, lighting them up.
If he run up on me, I light his ass up. I'm trying to tell you, I got like,
I gotta get some of those, man.
man. I'm doing the
What are
grown
they?
man.
Orbeez or some shit?
Yeah,
Orbeez.
yeah. Or
Okay.
I'm doing the grown man joints though, 270 feet per second type shit.
What?
You run up on
Okay.
me, I'm gonna put your eye out. Like, look, my
Like a
son.
Christmas story and shit.
At first, me and my son was just having shootouts, right? Like he comes sneak out, sneak attack me. You know me. I just take it to a whole other. So I got to go the ones that they fight in tournaments with. Shit. So that's
Okay.
what I'm shooting at a motherfucker now. I can't wait until I can't move. I'm gonna find me. I'm gonna murder people, man. And I want all my homies to get one so I can ride up on them and do drive-bys and shit. Just surprise you, come out your yard and wet your shit up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch one.
They hurt, but they don't. It depends on maybe some of them. My son told me one of them. He's like, you ain't shooting me with that one. It go through cardboard boxes. I'm not.
Oh shit, yeah.
I'm like, no, man. I'm gonna put it to you. But no, I hope that I hope people heard something that enlightened them. I hope maybe you learned something about. I hope you were also entertained. And I think you have to respect every single individual on this show's perspective. And we'll get in the ring and kick up some dust, but you got to understand that this space is meant for free expression and mutual respect and admiration for each other. And so it's cool for you to think different. Like when my criticism of Kanye or Charleston White is not centered around the fact that they're saying things that need to be said in an unconventional way. That's not my point. My problem is these individuals have shown themselves to be habitual line steppers. And so sometimes I have to you would have to reel them in. And we all have a homeboy. We all have a homegirl. We all have a cousin or somebody who you got to watch that motherfucker because he'll be done said or done some shit. You go, let me go get this motherfucker, man. Because that's their personality, right? And so, they are truly an individual. And sometimes what an individual does involves a lot of people who, what they call it, collateral damage. People who are kind of standing around or people who are just out there involved. And so, and sometimes it's like I say, you playing with all this public consumption, you playing with our psyche. So when you start saying one black man to another that I'm going to Trayvon Martin your son, or you're saying slavery was a choice, or you're saying George Floyd died of fentanyl, he wasn't nothing but a dope fiend. You got to understand the ideology you kind of setting up and creating. Okay, if you don't care about that, that's fine. Is it affecting me? No, because I'm seasoned and I'm on a different level than some of my people are. But there are people out here who can be led astray. And we see right now one of our biggest issues in our community is that a lot of people walk around with heads full of misinformation. And they usually seek out other misinformed people and they form a clique. And then we have dysfunction, right? And so and it's hard to penetrate it once it becomes the norm in the community. That's the backbone of what I call the culture of dysfunction in the black community. You got a lot of misinformed people who haven't prioritized the right thing because nobody's ever shown them boundaries and structure and this kind of thing. And so they all over the place. And people say, well, that's just how it is. Oh, that's just how the hood is. It shouldn't be like that. It's fucked up that we treat each other the way we do. It's fucked up that we're still stuck in this economic deprived state of zombieism that we live in. It's all bad, and I have to call it out. And unless you're trying to empower people to get out of it, then I think you're doing us a disservice. So if anything Kanye's doing in his fight against the agenda of whatever Jewish people are doing, it is what it is. And I support him on that because if you're doing something that's going to help us get ahead in the long run, I'm cool. But just because you did that, don't mean you get to go do some dumb shit. So don't pay my tuition and then molest me, right? I don't need all that, right? Right. So, because now we're confused. So I just want us to be more aware of what's being said. And let's think about everything critically. Because like we made a point to say tonight, people get upset, man. Words, once again, words matter. When we stop saying, man, it don't matter what people say, that's just words. That's absolutely a misnomer. Words matter. They get shit cracking. They get shit going. They get you riled up. You say it's provocative. People feel a certain way because of what was said. Nothing puts a bunch of people in line to do something like somebody to get up and give a great speech. You say, oh shit, look at I Have a Dream. Look at the long-lasting impact of that's not what you can do for this country or what this country can do for you and all that. All these 7 years ago, because somebody got up and said some shit at a pivotal time and the impact was felt. The Ballad of the Bullet. How many people still walk around saying by any means necessary? You know why? Because Malcolm said it. He didn't write it on a piece of paper. He didn't draw a picture. He didn't do sign language. He didn't do an emoji. He said it out his mouth. And you can hear his voice saying it to this day. So it's impactful. Words matter, man. Be careful what you say. Because sometimes you'll be talking so much till you get to the point and realize that your criticism of the community is outweighing your contribution. And it's at that precise point that I need for you to stop and say, damn, I'm a coon. I see y'all Wednesday night, man. Peace and love, man. Capital Drive and Access.
Peace, y'all.
Hit you up. I gotta get.
Peace.
I'm gonna hit you up. All right, I'll see y'all, man. We'll be back Wednesday, man.
For sure.
You have to understand, either you are with us or you are against us.
So yeah, man would have never did that. Yeah, man, Barack Obama for wearing a brown suit.
Okay, so it is what it is. I'm not alone until I got the whole familia with me tonight.